there are many dangers in the world. In a vast sandbox as large as Minecraft, there are many stories that can be told. Let me tell you one intriguing, adventurous story that is, even now, being told. Welcome to Crazed Wanderers. And so now it is time for me to share with you, aside the campfire, the backstory of Crazed Wanderers. Hold tight, and let's get started. The beginning of our story starts with beds, a common place to rest yourself. And on this server, beds are especially important, as the server runs on one player's sleep. All you need to skip through the night is one player sleeping. So in order to create continuous daytime, all we need is one person dedicated to sleeping. Now, this seems easy enough, except for the fact that, well, nobody really wanted to be the one to sleep. So instead of sleeping every night, or making your own bed to sleep, a player, let's just call them Gremlin, decided to steal players' beds and sleep through the night. Ultimately trying to do everyone a favor, but not in the best way possible. Unfortunately for Gremlin, however, some players didn't take kindly to them sleeping in other people's beds. So, what happened? Well, this server runs on something known as castle rule. For example, this base is my base. It belongs to me. If you touch my stuff, if you touch any of the things I have in here, property of Sir Cracker, do not touch. If you touch it, we run castle rule. I determine the punishment. Now, I am not a evil man. I am very powerful, however, and I don't want any of my fellow players to be stealing my stuff. I've worked very hard to make this little cultivated piece of land, and I don't intend to throw everything that I've worked for away. I would like it if my fellow Minecraft players would be so kind as to not steal my things or sleep in my bed. But Gremlin had other plans. Gremlin decided that it was a smart idea to steal food from my chests and sleep in my bed. It all came to a head when Gremlin stole a couple stacks of iron that I had sitting in here. I said, hey, you can't take my iron, I just worked to get that. Gremlin responded with, what iron? This resulted in a little bit of a fire fist fight between me and Gremlin, and then Gremlin gave me my stuff back and left. I think that's a pretty good way to solve conflict, don't you? Gremlin had other plans. In retaliation, Gremlin went over to one of my friends. Let's call him Renegade. As soon as Renegade got on the server, I began helping him out because he was more interested in building and selling things than he was in mining. So I started trading him iron and items so he could go and, you know, rank himself up as he begins to create his shop and his farm. So, while I give him these things, Gremlin thinks it's a wonderful idea. Go and steal some of his things. and sleep in his bed, naturally. Let me reiterate, this server is based off of castle rule. Therefore, if you sleep in a man's bed, you're sleeping in his castle. And that is a horrifyingly bad offense. So, Renegade asks sweet little gremlin, sweet in parentheses, to please stop sleeping in his bed and taking his things. Instead of saying, well, stealing what things? Or saying things like, I didn't sleep in your bed. Gremlin responds with something like, all of spawn is my base. And now this is where things get convoluted, because later on Gremlin clarifies that they were saying that they don't have a base. So spawn, this area, and the things around it is where she's going to just sleep, because she doesn't have a base to put a bed. To be fair, that is a valid thing to say, being if we're going to follow castle rule, squatters' rights probably should be something that also exists. So, we'll give her the benefit of the doubt for that. But ultimately, things come to a head and people start killing each other. And assault breaks out and people are punching each other and people get killed. So, the court's court is built by yours truly to deliberate and discuss what should we do. During a court session where we had no armor on or weapons in hand, everybody was as innocent as could be, sitting around, just chatting. Gremlin broke out and attacked everyone, running away, laughing, and saying that they were guilty of nothing. Let's just say this resulted in them falling into a pit and getting blown up by a creeper. Rather ironic, if you ask me. I don't think I used the word ironic right, but that's fine. At any rate, the server has gone without conflict since then. Gremlin has subsided completely of all interesting actions. However, strange new things are coming afoot on the server. Let me show you one of them here. If you don't know what that means, that there is Gremlin's signature smile. So, Gremlin is saying, project on hold until further notice, with a smiley face, and this is the prison. I'm concerned. I'm very concerned. I'm just very, very concerned about this. Let me give you a short introduction to the server so that way you can understand what things are going on. Let's start over here by the common house and the crafting table. The common house is where everybody who spawns into the world will begin. Here, you can get supplies, have a bed, and be able to survive when monsters come. Which is funny because Gremlin could have used this base at any time. Over here, we have the crafting table. The crafting table is kind of the server-wide community crafting table where anybody can use this ginormous crafting table to their heart's content. It's a 4x3. We need to fix that. This is the court's court, as you've already seen. This is my campsite. It is not an official base because I didn't want to have to take the time to build myself a fancy house, so I just made myself a little cute arch tent type thing, and then I have my little farms going here. This is a way of getting emeralds from the villagers, which is the villager trading hall right there by the server nether portal. And over here we have the automatic stick farm, which only has 10 bamboo at a time. It's horribly slow, but it's still effective. My first use of an autocrafter. Here we have a lava generator, and we have the mines. They go down to a cobblestone platform that leads to an ancient city. So that is a very fun place to go. Several of us have died there multiple times. This is April. April is us good little holes. Who's a good little holes? I also have November, but November is loaned out to a friend right now. So when that friend returns from his adventure, we will deal with things. I made a video a little while back about me having full netherite, which is true. I also have 2 tridents, one that is riptide and one that is channeling, because you have to have both, let's be honest. And this is the server so far. Kale's base, the server owner, is up here. All the way up there, at the very top of this staircase. It's a kind of a, oh, you can see his, that's his, right there. His base is right there. see it completely from there, but that's where his base is. My base is there. Gremlin's base is over there. Huge road thing going off in that direction. And over there, it goes to a little hollow. I think she calls it the Fairy Hollow, which is kind of cute. It works. It looks nice. Over in this direction, I wish I knew northwest, east, or south, but I'm not an expert in that. In this direction, we have two more lovely players. We have Renegade himself, and he's over here. He has been building his pawn shop. It's right here. It's under construction. And then way off in the further distance, let's see if we can get close enough to see it, is let's call it is Hunter's base. And Hunter is an expert builder. Hunter is constructing a log cabin alongside an island all the way over that direction. I'm still out of render distance. The shader gives me a really bad render distance. I can't wait for vibrant visuals, honestly. Very excited for that to exist. I think this is how we get to his base. No, this is just somebody was getting dirt, I guess. It's getting late. I need to show you. There it is, rising out of the distance. That is Hunter's base. Looks beautiful. It's in construction. I haven't seen him on in a while. It's a half moon. The half moon rises. Danger follows. Wonder what danger's got. Ah! Sharpness 5, baby. I think I'm going to retreat to a bed. I don't know why any of the other players aren't on right now. I'm gonna say, from a distance, this lit up ramp just looks so cinematic. Just like, I feel like this is going to be one of my introductions. There are many dangers in the world. In a vast sandbox as large as Minecraft, there are many stories that can be told. Let me tell you one intriguing, adventurous story that is even now being told. Welcome to Crazed Wanderers. I think that's going to be the introduction to the video. This is the shop. This is the restaurant. I believe everything is still under construction. He hasn't said prices for anything, but he has some pretty good stuff. He's got some pretty good stuff. I know you think I'm Poseidon, but I'm not. I'm definitely not Poseidon. As the resident netherite player on the server, I can attest that there are plenty of exciting adventures coming to Crazed Wanderers, and if anything, I'll at least have to be the start of it. So far, the only drama that has ever attacked the server has been the debacle between Renegade and the gremlin inside of here, but both of them have received justice in their minds. Things have been settled, so I'd say that everything has gone off pretty well. I hope you enjoyed tonight's story. Come back soon. Hopefully we can do some more exciting adventures. Look at the cute little bird. I just love these guys. Hold on. There he is. I love parrots. Anyways. Good night, guys.